Hello, everybody. We are back again for Taste of the Harvest Homestyle. It is unfortunately our last event, but we're super duper excited to be with John Johnson and District Community Playback to tell some food stories. As you all know, Taste of the Harvest is the harvest or the celebration of the harvest of the 11th Street Bridge Park plots. If we were all together, like I've been saying for the last 4 weeks, we will be at the Ark. We'll be a little cozy. We'll be having recipes from our farmers and enjoying performances like the ones that we're going to see today. So we have some special guests in the audience, and we also have some awesome playback actors that will be presenting to you all today. So I won't take up too much of your time. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our actors.
Hello, everyone. So this is fine, Destiny. We can start off like this. Hello, everyone. My name is John, and in a moment, we are going to play back people's stories surrounded around soul food and what food means to them and how they're culturally connected to it and just how important it is in our lives. So we're going to do an introduction. Again, my name is John, and when I think about soul food, I think about my grandmother, and my grandmother made these biscuits. You know, everyone talks about like potato salad and sweet potato pie, but my grandmother made these biscuits from scratch. She gathered all the ingredients and she made these biscuits. And I remember the biscuits weren't always like they weren't the prettiest biscuits when they came out the oven. They were like, some of them were bigger than the other. They kind of lopped to the side, but they were like crispy on the outside. When you cracked them open, they were soft on the inside. And you were able to, like, when you ate your food, it like soaked up all of the gravy and the plate was almost clean. You just had to kind of rinse it off when it was all done. And when my grandmother passed, we didn't know the recipe to that. So those biscuits are gone forever, but they were the best biscuits I ever tasted. John.
Come and get your soul food. Good old-fashioned soul food. Come on, take your shoes off, baby. Come and get your soul food. I got them biscuits for you. Come and get your soul food. Them good old biscuits sopping up that gravy. That good old biscuits sopping up that gravy. But now Granny ain't here no more, and we ain't got no biscuits no more. My name is Tamika. How y'all doing? And when I think about soul food, I think about my family, my sisters, my auntie, my mom before she passed away. And I just remember in my family around cooking, it's just a time for us to get together and laugh and cut up and be the loudest family on the block, and just really your stomach is hurting. You're laughing so hard off the antics of the family. So I just miss that joy. And that's what I think about when I think about soul food. Tamika.
Auntie? Here, taste this. Taste this. It's good. You want to taste it? It's good. I know. Oh, the neighbors are complaining again. I know, right? They're complaining again. Hi, I'm Erin. And when I think about food and soul food, I think about my mom being an excellent baker. And she, almost every Sunday, we would have these cinnamon rolls. And if we wanted to eat them on Sunday, she had to make them on Saturday. It was an all-day process. She would, make these cinnamon rolls from scratch, or this like sweet bread, this like orange cinnamon bread, or these cherry rolls. I mean, it was just like every Sunday, homemade yeast rolls. And it would be this, like the house would just smell so good. The cinnamon and just the like that bread, the yeast would just fill the house and smell so good. And then we would eat them and they would be so delicious and gooey. And I feel like I want to make them, but it feels like such a daunting process that I have bought yeast and then it has expired. But one of these days I am dedicating a Saturday to trying to make my mother's cinnamon rolls because I have to carry on the family tradition. I'm Erin.
Okay, pull it long, twist it around. It's so gooey. Yes, this is wonderful. You got it, Erin. You're doing a good job. You're doing a really good job. This Sunday, and we love doing this. I tell you, one day you're going to do this as good as me, Erin. You're going to be the best cinnamon maker around. Delicious. Hi, guys. I'm Pamela. And although I don't eat pork, I think about pork chops when I think about soul food. My mom didn't eat pork when we were growing up, so we didn't have pork in the house. So my dad used to take us over to to his favorite aunt's house, and she would fix pork chops for us. And I thought, like, we have a real soul food today. I always think about pork chops. I don't miss them, but I think about them. I'm Pamela.
Mm. 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 Oh. Mm. Hi. When I think about soul food, I think about Sunday mornings at my grandmother's house. See, we had two huge meals. In the morning, there was breakfast to get ready to go to church, and then we go to church all day long, and then we come home, and then there'd be afternoon supper. And the meal that was most special was breakfast. Oh my gosh. We'd have a long table. My brothers and sisters would be seated there. My dad, my uncle, probably my uncle, my grandfather, and then there'd be food covering the whole table. Bacon, ham, chicken, eggs. Oh, and I'd have a napkin tucked into my right here so that I didn't get my clean shirt all covered with grease and stuff. And we'd sit there and we'd eat that and we get ready to go to church. That's the best meal ever. I'm Gregory.
I am so blessed. Look at my family, my beautiful family, these grandbabies down there. Oh, we are going to rejoice today. We are going to give thanks. Truly blessed and highly favored. Oh, my husband here, my children, my grandbabies, and look at Gregory looking sharp. Look at you, baby. Look at you. Just as sharp as you want to be. And got your napkin tucked in and everything. That's right. You better protect that suit. That's right. Granny ironed that up and starched that up just so. I am so grateful. So grateful. Hallelujah. My name is Courtney. And when I think of soul food, I think about my adopted mom. She adopted me and my two siblings. I was the oldest of the siblings, and my adopted mom and I, we always had a hard time getting along. We never quite clicked. But every Thanksgiving, I kind of called a truce, because she made this macaroni and cheese that was so good. I mean, it was so good. I never had any macaroni and cheese like it. Not before, not since. Baked macaroni and cheese. So many different types of cheese in this thing. And even to this day, I think to myself, there's no way that somebody can make macaroni and cheese that good and be all bad. I'm Courtney.
Courtney. girl, we've been arguing all day. You've been getting on my last nerves, little girl. But you know what? I got something for you. Here, take this. Yeah. 17 different cheeses. You know how many grocery stores I had to go? I had to get 7. This is Gouda, American cheese, non-American cheese, Japanese cheese. There's a lot of cheeses in there, girl. I know. Baked it myself. Go ahead. I know you smiling at me now. Your face was all frowned up earlier, but now you're smiling at me, huh? It's a lot of love in there too. It's some love cheese. That's what I call it. You call it macaroni and cheese, but I call it love cheese. Waving the white flag at each other today. I love you, Courtney. All right, so there we go. So you guys got it. So we introduced ourselves. We are all of the artists. All the artists, you guys can just pop on the screen real quick. And so we are going to tell your stories. We're going to tell your stories. So artists, you guys can turn your cameras off. Everyone can turn your cameras off. So who's going to be our first teller? I know that we had some folks who pre-registered as telling to tell stories. So Destiny, can you bring one of our tellers up? And if anyone's interested in having their story played back, type in the chat. If you're on Facebook and you're watching this, type in the chat and Destiny will send you a link. If we have the time, we will also honor your story around soul food. So we're waiting on the first teller to come up. And until the teller comes up, everyone else who's watching, just think about a story that you connect with in reference to food. Christy, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So did you watch the beginning where we kind of told our own stories around food and how we're connected to it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so where does your story begin?
Mine is about my mother who birthed me and my mother who raised me. My mother who birthed me it makes the best cornbread, fried cornbread. I don't know.
Fried cornbread. How do you make fried cornbread?
With cornmeal. Well, when I do it, it's with cornmeal and a tab of sugar, and I fry it in one of those iron skillet with some grease.
Okay.
And the other one was my mother who raised me. She would make the best pineapple upside down cake. Everything fresh. And it would just melt in your mouth. That's Christine is the mother who raised me, and Dolores is the mother who birthed me.
So Christine's the mother who raised you, Dolores. And why do you tell the story? What made you want to tell this story, Christine?
Because when we would eat, my mother who raised me has passed, but my mom who birthed me is still here, and I still go over there now. And the cornbread, the fried cornbread, I don't even need anything. It's like a big hush puppy. I don't know if you're familiar with hush puppies.
No, I know hush puppy.
Fried in the frying pan usually. It's like a pancake hush puppy. And let me tell you, with some coleslaw and some barbecue and some collard greens and some candy, and there's a potato salad and some macaroni and cheese all on the plate with that cornbread on the side. You don't know what you're missing.
Okay. All right. So Christy, we're gonna do a 4-part story. We're gonna do Pamela, Aaron, Gregory, and Courtney, and those folks who are vocalists, welcome to use your voice. And Tamika, you'll sing in between those things. Christy, you can turn your camera off like you just did, but I'm going to ask you to come back and tell me how you felt about the way we played your story back, okay? All right, so I'm going to say, Christy, let's watch, and we're going to have Pamela, Aaron, Gregory, and Courtney do a 4-part story.
Oh, okay. There's some good coleslaw. Put that right here. Right. Oh, okay. Can you hand me that right over there? That potato salad right over here. You got that barbecue right over here, right? Because we gotta make room on the table for the fried cornbread, which can go right here. Yeah, that's enough space.
my mama who birthed me, my mama who raised me. And these mamas both speak the language of love in their food. And let me just tell you that there is nothing like love in food. If I had to sum up my mama who birthed me and my mother who raised me, I can sum each of their love up in the food that they made me.
Brown baby, as you grow up, I want you to drink from the plenty cup. Oh, my little brown baby. Everything is not the way I wanted it to be. But I know I can't give you everything. But little girl, you're going to eat the best food you've ever had in your life. Every time you taste this cornbread, whatever you put in it, it's going to help you to grow. And it's going to let you know that you were meant to be here. I want you here. I want you to stay and grow and blossom and be able to love and take love and give love. Eat well. Eat well.
Woo! Child, wait till we get this pineapple upside down cake together. That's right. Everybody in the neighborhood, they're all talking about Christine's pineapple upside down cake. That's right. That's right. Because they know. But you lucky, little girl, because you got a front row seat. That's right. You're my baby, and you get a front row seat. Okay? So when this pineapple upside down cake is done, guess who gets the first slice?
I think I love you.
So, Christy, can you pop your camera back on? Actors, you guys can turn your cameras off.
Sorry, I'm crying. That was
It's
great.
okay. It's okay. It's okay. We human beings, we all cry. Yeah, take your
That was
time.
great. I really enjoyed it. Aaron, you really got me. Oh Lord, gosh, and Courtney, the ending. Oh my gosh. Oh, freaking frack. Great job. Great job.
Okay, and can you just share with us a few words of how you have an emotional response? Can you just share with us just a little bit of like what watching that brought back for you?
Well, I'm sure my mom's probably watching. With the cornbread, I know, because every time I go over there, if it's cornbread on the table or in the pan, I'm gonna stay and I'm gonna eat it, and she knows that. And so that was, and oh, and the pineapple, the ending with the pineapple, she's not here, but she's still here with me, and we're still working on that pineapple. It's not the greatest, but it's good. I can cook anything, but I'm trying to master that pineapple coconut. It's a pineapple coconut cake. Thank you guys. That was awesome. Awesome.
Cool. Thank you for sharing, Christy. Thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you for sharing. All right, so we have some more time for some more stories. So Destiny, you can bring up whoever is next waiting to share their food story. Hello.
Hi.
My name is Cornelia Harris.
Okay. Miss Harris, how are you? Tell us where your story begins.
Well, my story begins on a farm, and it begins really with the memories of my dad, who was a farmer and lived off the land. And just the relationship with him being a farmer and planting his vegetable gardens every year. And my mom canning and preserving the vegetables and fruits that came from the orchards and putting it away for the winter months so that.
So Miss Harris, you're saying a lot. So can you tell us some of the things that were grown on this farm with your dad? Tell us the things.
What I can tell, well, we grew everything. We grew corn, tomatoes, beans. We had apple orchards, pear trees, blackberry bushes, raspberry bushes. He raised pigs. My uncle raised the pigs. We had cows, we had horses, we had chickens.
And where was this?
This was in Mitchellville, Maryland.
Mitchellville, Maryland. Okay, right up the street from here.
Right down the street. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a farm in Mitchellville, Maryland. And you said you and the mom preserved all of these things.
Yes.
Take people through what preserving means. Just because
because she would put them in jars.
Mm-hmm.
And we called it canning or preserving. And she would put all those things in jars. And that's what we would put up for the winter months, all the extra food. We ate that food, but she also preserved it or canned it. And then that's what we would eat. That's what we would share with others. And that's what our meals would be during the winter months when it was cold. There were some things we got from the stores like flour and sugar. And, there were some things, of course, you bought from the store. But those types of vegetables and things we got from our gardens. And so that's my earliest memories was just from those foods, watching my mom preserve foods, watching them cook the foods. We go out and get things from the garden, bring it home. My dad was an excellent cook, both my parents, my family. But those are my earliest memories. I don't know if you guys can make a story. I was going to bail out, but I saw that.
No, I have some more questions for you. This is a story. So okay. How old were you when in this memory that you're sharing with us? How old were you in this memory?
From my earliest recollections. Until I was a teenager and my dad stopped farming. The area changed. As you know now, Mitchellville is not the Mitchellville I grew up in.
So what is the Mitchellville like now? So Mitchellville was a farm when you were younger. Now what is Mitchellville like?
Mitchellville was a farming community. Everyone around there farmed. Mitchellville now is a suburbs. And I think they said that Mitchellville has the highest number of Black American millionaires per capita in the country.
Okay.
So that's how Mitchellville has changed.
It went from a farm community to a kind of like a upper middle class rural community.
Yes.
And so let me ask this other question. What things did you take with you from the canning and the farming? Like, do you have a vegetable garden? Do you still practice any of those things? Can you cook? You said your mom and your dad can cook.
I don't cook half as well as my relatives, but I try. I do my best, but not half as well as they do.
Okay. And here's my last question. What meal or thing in particular could your mom and your dad cook? Like your favorite dish that they made when you think back.
My favorite dish for my dad was stewed tomatoes and okra and I can't remember her name in that said. The lady before me was saying about the cornbread in the pan. Mm-hmm. My dad could make that too. It filled the pan. It's as wide as the pan. That's as wide as that cornbread pancake was. And my dad could really make that. Everybody in our little neighborhood liked my dad to make that. All the kids would come over, but the stewed tomatoes and okra and biscuits. I loved biscuits, and from my earliest memory, I can always remember them in the morning, putting that dough out and making fresh biscuits. We did not have a meal without fresh bread. There was some kind of fresh bread. Never had a meal. You could not bring leftover bread to another meal.
It was fresh bread every time.
Cooked bread at every meal.
Okay, so Ms. Harris, you told a beautiful story. We're gonna have your story played back in a 3-part story where we're gonna have Tamika, Gregory, and Courtney. They're gonna sing a little bit and they're gonna play back your story for you.
I'm looking forward.
All right, and then we'll ask you to come back on after it's done. All right, so Tamika, Gregory, and Courtney. All right, Ms. Harris, let's watch.
God is great and God is good. Thank you, God, for this food. Took some time to get here. See my family, we grew it here. We planted seeds in the ground and we watched them grow. Now we feed each other food that fills our soul. Pass the food, pass the peas like we used to do.
Abundance everywhere, all around us, there's abundance. And we're so grateful. Everything we need is here. I keep my family together by what I plant on this ground. My girl is going to grow. My wife is going to help us be fed. I love the way that she takes everything that I grow and preserves it. Preserves it. We're preserving ourselves and we're preserving the food that comes to us. Oh, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Beans, potatoes, tomatoes, carrots, and peas. Beans, potatoes, tomatoes, carrots, and peas. Cornelia, I need you to pick me. Pick me. That's right. Pick me some tomatoes out there. Some beans. I'm in here canning now. I don't need you underfoot, but I need you to bring some stuff in the house. All right. You can tell your daddy I need some raspberries too. All right, I don't want you making a mess of them. So you ask him to get some raspberries in, and you can get some carrots in here too. All right, honey. And if you're good, I'll make sure you get the first piece of cornbread. All right. I love you. Go on now.
Miss Harris?
Yes.
All right, so how was that to watch?
I enjoyed it.
Thank you
all so much.
Yeah, and I just want to say one thing to you too. When you said about trying to come up with a story, you gave us history about Mitchellville. You gave us you gave us history about the farmers in our community. So thank you for sharing your story. Oftentimes, you just never know how much information you have in sharing your own story.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
All right, so who's next? Thank you, performers. That was great. Hello, hello, Dr. Young. You have to unmute yourself.
Of course I do. I apologize.
All right. So where does your story begin?
So my story begins with my grandmother. I'm a native Washingtonian and grew up in Southeast DC. My
Okay.
grandmother is from Helena, South Carolina, moved here when she was 19 years old. And I remember at a very young age, just her use of food, her cooking, especially when I was disappointed. I was raised by a single mother. And so sometimes, you know, my dad would say he was going to come and didn't show up. And my grandmother would say, no, come on, let's cook. Let's cook. Let's make something. What would you like to eat? And she would make chicken and dumplings, fresh biscuits, greens, peach cobbler. You know, we would go and pick the beans and the different things that she was growing. And I always felt better. I always felt better. And so that's what I was thinking about. Whenever I think about food, I think about the freshness. I think about how she poured her love into that food. I think she only has a sixth grade education, maybe. I think fourth or sixth grade. I can't remember exactly, but I just remember that the one thing she always felt so proud of, besides her family, was just the food, and it always made me feel safe and happy to be with her. And she actually is still with us. She's 95 years old, and she doesn't cook anymore.
Okay. So Miss Young,
Yes.
Dr. Young,
Yes.
we are going to tell a story. So you guys, you've seen a couple of like our small forms. So do you remember everyone? Can you see everyone's name on the screen, or you need us to pop everybody back on so you can choose?
Yeah, I'd have to be able to see everyone's name.
Okay, so everyone's gonna pop back on. I want you to pick someone that you've been seeing, you know, do these forms. Pick someone to play you.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna pick Courtney.
Okay, so when you're telling us this story about your grandmother,
yes,
how old were you in the story?
Let's say from about 7 years old.
Okay. All right. And can you give me 3 words to describe 7-year-old Dr. Young? You weren't a doctor then, were you?
No, but only
okay. I'll just, 7.
In my own mind.
Okay. So give me 3 words to describe you when you were 7 years old.
Oh, theatrical.
Okay, you were theatrical.
Curious.
Curious. Okay.
Strong-willed.
And strong. So what when you say strong-willed, what would be something you would say or do? What would the strong-willed 7-year-old say or do in these times?
I would pontificate about what I knew.
Okay.
And what I knew was more right than what you knew.
And how would your grandma strong-willedness? What would her response be?
She would smile usually, and then say to me, "Now you don't know everything."
Okay. Cool. All right. So we have you at 7, and so your grandmother, you mentioned, like, can you tell me? So you said she doesn't cook anymore. Can you tell me some of the things that she did in addition to all of these foods and vegetables and everything? What else did she do? Like you said, she was full of love. She doesn't cook anymore, and you mentioned another thing too. You said that were there these times where your dad was supposed to come and he didn't come in and show up?
Mm-hmm.
Was this the time that your grandmother came in and she was using food to soothe you and spending time with her?
Yes, she used food to soothe me. Yeah, and spend time with her. And she was teaching me as well. So
and what was she teaching you?
She was teaching me that I was okay and that I was still safe. And even if I was disappointed, it was okay. So she taught me how to cook, but she also taught me how to use that expression of her love to let me know that I was cared for and that I was wanted and that I was okay.
Okay. It seems like grandma's important. So pick one of the actors that played grandma.
All right. Let's choose Pamela.
Okay. So Courtney is going to play Dr. Young from 7 on up, and Pamela is going to play. And what is your grandmother's name?
Mary Mack, believe it or not.
Miss Mary Mack.
Miss Mary Mack.
Okay, Miss Mary Mack. And give me 3 words to describe Miss Mary Mack.
Stylish.
Stylish.
Stubborn.
Stubborn. Stubborn how? When you say stubborn, how is she stubborn?
Very driven. Stubborn, meaning that when she makes her mind up to do something, no one can convince her otherwise.
Okay.
And then my last word would be incredibly spiritual.
And
she's the one who taught me to pray. Yes.
And she taught you how to pray. Okay. All right. So one last question, Dr. Young. If you had to put a title on this story that you're sharing with everyone, what would the title be?
I would call it Gammy with Grit.
Gammy with Grit. Yes. Gammy with Grit. All right. So I'm going to ask you to turn your camera off. We're going to play back your story, and then I'm going to bring you back up, and you can tell us how it felt to watch your story play back. All right. Dr. Young, let's watch.
Grandma's hands cook the food on Sunday morning. Grandma's hands always cooked with heart and soul. Grandma's hands, chicken dumplings, greens, and cobbler are the things that filled my plate. Wish it never goes away. She always made me feel so safe. Grandma's hands.
I know he's coming. I know my daddy's gonna be here soon. My daddy's gonna be here soon. My daddy's gonna be here soon. I can't wait. I mean, it's been a while. He said 2 or 3 hours ago, but my daddy's gonna be here soon.
Baby, you come on over here. You know, Grandma got something for you. You come on over here. Come on. Let's start with yeah.
Daddy's coming. Daddy's coming. And when I know he's gonna be here, and it's exactly the time he said he's supposed to be here. And his car is using a different type of gasoline now, and that type of gasoline, is so good that it couldn't have broken down. It couldn't have broken down.
Baby, give me a hug right now. Come on. There we go.
Grandma.
There we go. Now let's go downstairs to the kitchen. Come on.
Okay.
I got something good down there for you.
Like what?
We got some peach cobbler left.
Oh.
Yes, indeed. Waiting for you.
What about you? Are you gonna do the chicken and dumplings today?
Girl, you know I got them dumplings down there. That was supposed to be a surprise for you.
Oh, Grandma, oh, that's exciting.
Baby girl, I wanted to get there. I'm trying to get there. Don't forget me. I know your grandma can help you remember that I love you still. I love you. Don't forget that.
Felicia, baby, you safe here. You're always safe with me. Okay?
Thanks, Grandma.
Where's that smile? All right, that's it.
Thanks, Grandma.
You got just a minute. Take just a minute. Fold those hands.
Yes,
Let
ma'am.
us pray for all the good things that we have in this life. We got each other. We got your mama. We happy. All right. Where's that smile? There it is. There it is. Girl, what you talking about over there? What you talking about over there?
Grandma.
Yeah.
Grandma. I'm thinking that maybe I should help you cook because I'm really pretty good in the kitchen. And, I've been thinking that, I think I could throw something together. I think I really could throw something together. I've been studying in science class. I've been learning about, different types of reactions.
Girl, you don't know everything. It don't come from no science classes. I'm getting older now, and I need you to understand. Just gotta pour that love in there. Get those ingredients right, but give it all the love you can. That's what makes it taste delicious.
I
Remember
do think
that.
I taste the love. I taste the love sometimes. When I take a spoon, like when I eat those chicken and dumplings, it's like I can taste it. You're right, Grandma. You're right. Okay.
I'm getting up there, baby. I'm getting up there. I'm depending on you to learn these things. I'm depending on you.
Well, I think you'll always be with me in my heart, right? I mean, you'll always be able to help me. And
I ain't gone nowhere yet. I ain't gone nowhere yet. I'm gonna help you. I just want you to learn. You hear
okay,
me?
okay. Because when you talk like that, I get a little worried. I mean, I know you a little bit older than me, but I think you're gonna live a long, long time, Grandma. A long, long time. Thank you. Thank you for helping me. My day's feeling better now. I was sad before, but thank you.
I love you, Felicia.
I love you too.
For Grandma's head.
Thank you, Dr. Young.
Yes, I'm here.
So how was that to watch?
Beautiful, healing. My grandmother's 95 now. And since this whole COVID situation, thank God she didn't get COVID. However, she does have dementia, and it has rapidly declined in the last 8 months. And so it's a beautiful memory. And the spirit behind what you all just did is very healing, because I will always have these memories with me, even when she doesn't remember who I am.
Thank you for sharing your grandmother with us.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Miss. Thank you, Dr. Young. All right, y'all. So who is next? We have we have about 18 minutes left. So we have time for one more story.
Hello.
How you doing? How you doing, Ms. Johnson?
I'm good. Thank you. My name is Renee Johnson. I am in Chicago, Illinois. I am the mother of Destiny Johnson.
Oh, Mama Johnson. Okay.
Mama Johnson in the house. So my story stems from Augusta, Georgia. My family is from Augusta, my mother and father. My mother and father grew up together on the same block, and they got married. My mother and father were married 60 plus years before my father passed. So, and my mother is still here. My mother is 95. I share the story of Dr. Young, and my mother is 95 years old. She also has dementia, so I understand what she is going through, but these stories are very comforting to me as I hear you share stories of other people. So let me tell you what my story is. My story is about pound cake. My grandmother made the best pound cake ever. It was a tradition. She made it. Her daughters made it. their kids made it. When I was little, I was making pound cakes with my mother. When I became an adult and got married, I said, I am carrying on the tradition. I am making these pound cakes. Well, what happened was I started to remember how to make the pound cakes, but they weren't coming out right. So her pound cakes, they would look the same, but they would taste totally different. So I'm like, man, I got to find the recipe. So my cousin was saying, where's the recipe? Where's the recipe? I'm like, I don't know. We found the recipe on a brown index card. We didn't find just one. We found 5 recipes on the index card. And so Destiny herself tries to make these pound cakes herself. And sometimes it's a hit or miss with her. Usually it's more of a hit with her, but for me, it's more of a miss. So we got 5 recipes and don't know which one is the right one. And they look ugly, but they taste the same. But I'm looking for the taste and the look. So when Destiny and I cook the pound cakes together, we usually do it the holiday times. I'm sifting this flour and cracking the eggs carefully and put them in a bowl. And Destiny would just take the flour and just dump it in the mixer, or take the eggs and just throw it in there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, not how you do it. You have to sift it. So my story is carrying on the legacy of making this pound cake for my family. So Destiny and my son can also honor the legacy of the pound cake from Augusta, Georgia.
So can we call it pound cake from Augusta, Georgia?
Hey, go for it.
Pound cake from. So we're gonna do a 3-part story, and we're gonna have Gregory, Tamika, and Courtney.
Okay.
Gregory, Tamika, and Courtney, Miss Johnson, and then I'm gonna call you back, and you can tell me what you think about how we play back your story.
Okay.
All right. So Miss Johnson, let's watch.
Pound cake. Pound cake. I gotta get the recipe to this pound cake. It holds us together. There's nothing like pound cake. All right. This is the 5th recipe card. Which one of these things is right? Which one of them is right? Every time I make them, I've tried this one, and it looks strange, but it tastes okay, but it's not quite right. I've tried this one, and it looks a little bit. It still looks like it's broken some kind of how, but it tastes fine. It tastes okay. And this one, and this one, and this. Come on, y'all. Come on. I don't care. I'm not gonna give up. The last thing I do, I'm going to make this pound cake so all of us can know what it is and carry it on into the future. My sons are going to make it. My nephews are going to make it. We're all going to make this pound cake.
Ooh, cake. Come on, Ma, the cake is ready. Ooh, I know this joint's about to be bomb. Taste that right there, Mama. Don't you know I hit it on the nail? Yeah. Taste it, Ma. You are such a hater, Ma. You know my cake is good. You know it's good. Whatever, but I'm gonna have my boo in here talking about cake. It's all good because my cake is good. I'm still carrying on the family tradition, Ma. Ma, I could be doing anything. I could be making apple pies, but I'm here with you right now making pound cake, carrying on the family tradition. So just give me my props, Mom. Give me my props. Okay, I will do it together with you. But hold up, turn my song back on. Cake.
It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. I am the ever elusive pound cake. That's right. The ultimate perfected beautiful, perfectly tasting pound cake. And although there are 5 different recipes listed for me on one little brown index card that will baffle and intrigue this family for who knows how long, I don't know if they're ever really going to catch me. But I love watching them try. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Bless their hearts. Bless their hearts.
Oh, okay. It took me a while to pop back on. Thank you, actors. Miss Johnson.
Oh my God. I don't know what to say. You all have brought tears to my eyes. My mother is sitting here watching this as you guys are performing, and she's just laughing and smiling. And I'm just like, wow, you have really touched my heart. You have told the story. And the one who was talking about, Mom, give me my props. Yes.
Well,
that's what I hear. Mom, give me my props. I got it. I got to give it to her. She does it. So thank you for sharing my story, our story. It was beautiful.
Thank you, and I hope you get that right card out of those 5 cards. You figure out which one.
we still trying. Yeah. Holidays coming up.
It took years to figure out those recipes, so it's still perfecting. So thank you, Miss Johnson.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Okay, so all of the actors, you guys can come back on, please. So just wave at everybody real quick before we do our last little thing. Just wave everybody real quick. All right, so there's Tamika, Courtney, Gregory, Pamela, Aaron, and I'm John. So that you guys have experienced playback theater. We're going to do one additional thing for you guys as we close out. Everyone's going to turn. You guys can turn your cameras off real quick. Everyone turn their cameras off. We're going to do something called Once There Was. All right. And so here we go. So once there was a woman, and every time she went to go see her mother, she would think about all the things she had to do, but then she would look on the table and there'll be some fried cornbread, and she would stay and eat and eat. She couldn't help but to eat. Every time her mom left that fried cornbread on the table.
Once there was a family who farmed and who saved and served their neighborhoods in a town that was called Mitchellville. Mitchellville.
Once there was a grandma. Her name was Helena. She taught me how to pray. She taught me how to make all these wonderful foods. And most importantly, she made me feel safe.
Once the family who looked and looked and looked and tried to figure out the perfect recipe for pound cake. One would taste really good but look really bad, and another would not really taste good or look good. And they tried to piece together 5 recipes to make the family legacy of pound cake.
So everyone, pop your cameras on. Courtney and Pamela, pop your cameras on. All right, so what you guys have experienced today is some digital playback theater. I'm going to introduce everyone again, and then Destiny, you can come back and close this out. So again, Tamika Love Jones, Can you wave your hand, Tamika? Tamika, Courtney, Aaron, Pamela, Gregory, and I'm John. If you ever want to check us out, you can check us out at verbalgymnastics.com, or you can check out District Community Playback. If this is something that you feel will be useful, this type of storytelling will be useful in your institutions or your community. And I just want to say, God, thank you for joining us. And Destiny, can you come and give us the outro? And thank you to Destiny, who apparently can make pound cake, and the 11th Street Bridge Park, for inviting this type of artistry to be shared with the community.
Thank you all so much. I just got done crying myself. Y'all got me. Y'all got me. Y'all got me. Thank you to all the actors. And thank you for everybody tuning in. Taste of the Harvest Homestyle has been amazing. We've really taken our event and put it into a virtual form, and hearing all the stories today was really, really heartwarming. And I know that I guess we can bring on the other folks too who got their stories told. We want to thank you all as well for joining us, and also Miss Christy and my mom. So yeah, that's a wrap. I want to thank the Kresge Foundation for supporting this event, and I want you guys to have a wonderful night. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
I love the stories.
Destiny, is there any way you could put us in like a green room?
Yes, that is where we're going.
All right,
Thanks,
cool.
everybody.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.